Folks, here we got Mark, your friend and mine, cooking breakfast.
The last breakfast.
The last supper, maybe. And what am I doing? What am I filming?
Get it out, man.
Oh. What's that? It's gone out of focus.
We've got a macro here. Get it in with that.
Yeah. Where?
There, leave it there. There. I've changed it to macro and it kind of...
Yeah. Well, that's a good picture. Open your mouth.
Right there. Look, stop the machine. This is a Crypto Peerless 60-quart mixer. As you can see, we're using it to mix some sugar-free paste. I'm just going to be using some of our slices, like the David slice and the mint slice. Now in this mix, we've just got oats, flour, and fat. It up in this bowl for a bit. I'm going to whip it round in a minute at a very nice speed. Now you can have a look at that. That's a great noise. So come on in, come on in. Let's get a bit closer. I'll start it up now. There's the machine starting. And then drop it into gear and run away. Right, stop it there. Now we're going to mix this like that for about 10 minutes, get it nice and creamy. Then we'll add some water. And then Mark, my accomplice, who's in the other room at the moment, well, actually he's actually behind the camera, he will pin it out, roll it out into trays, put a top on it, glaze it with some ramble.
Right, here we have various pies and pasties, and one of those sugar-free slices I was talking about earlier, in the racks, ready to go into the ovens. The ovens over here, which are firing up at the moment. Let's go have a look inside them. Now these are over 100 years old. Well, I don't know exactly when they were built, but they're fantastic things really. The 2 layers. They've got these cast iron doors, which you can see here, as I'm coming in on them now. I'm going to try and open this without falling over. What have we got? Oh, there we go. Ah! It's hot. Let's get that's called a... what is it? It's a bit of rag really. Bit of sacking. Call it oven glove, that's right. So we use the oven glove to open the oven by the handle. Pull it open. Now watch out, 'cause there's a lot of heat in there. Let's pick up this light so we can have a better look inside. Right, you can see inside there now, that's about 12 foot deep. I don't know if we can get around and have a look at the flame, which is blowing in from the side there. Let's see if we can go in a bit. Hopefully it will come out in some sort of colour. Let's focus it a bit better. So I'll put the peel in the oven. He's going to load up the oven with some of these slices we were making earlier. I'll try and get a bit closer without getting poked by the peel. Now let's zoom in a bit. There's the first one going. I've got some bread in there already. So the peel's about 15 foot long. The trays are 18 inches by 30 inches. If he points the, oh, you can see it all in there. If he tilts the light a bit further in. So look, you can probably see the bread at the back there. It's going to be a bit dark. There you go. That's fine. Okay. Right, we've got the thermometer there. Gives us an idea of the temperature. That's just like on a pole that sticks straight into the oven. It's showing about 550, that's degrees Fahrenheit. That oven loaded up with all we've got to ready to go in. They're going to be in there for about 20 minutes. Okay, thank you, Mark. Got some dough I made some earlier. It's organic bread. Mixture of basically flour, water, vegetable margarine, salt and yeast. Mark's just unwinding it, bringing the thing down there. Right, we're going to lift this out and put it on the table, and then we'll divide it all up. Let's cut it into 2-pound blocks, mould it by hand, put it into tins, and then load it in the oven once it's proved up. Let's give it a chance to rise. It's been sitting in that bowl for about 20 minutes, which is all part of the natural fermentation process. Sorry. Mark's just about to undo the nut down there, spanner in hand. So we can lift it off. I'll cut here and I'll, because it takes two of us to lift it, and there's only two of us here at the moment. Put it on the table and then show you dividing, cutting it up and moulding it. Bye for now. Yep, this is the dough coming out. It's falling out of its own accord. Now we get it on the steel table. Mark's just fishing it out for us. Doesn't that look lovely? Nice and pliable. Okay, there's the bump scales we use. Very old-fashioned. Original. Mark just cut a couple of pieces off for us now, I think, while we watch. Uses a Scotch blade. Hold up the Scotch blade for us, Mark, so we can see what a Scotch blade looks like. One Scotch blade. Weighing it off at £2. There, so we've got about, there's about 80 pounds of dough there, so we'd get 41-pound loaves, or in this case, sorry, 42-pound loaves out of this. And they're there now, and I shall start chopping off the rest and then moulding them. Mark will film me moulding them, hopefully.
Yeah. So Clive's going to come in a bit closer around here. This is the bread. This is how we start off. Watch these hands. These hands will do magic. Give it a couple of turns. This really kind of gives it body. You want to try and get an even consistency throughout the dough once it's moulded. Right, there we have two perfectly formed pieces of dough. They'll rise in the tins. I'm going to put them in the tins over here now. Okay, just drop them in like that. You see them sitting in the tins there. These tins have already been greased with a bit of vegetable oil. Let's do a couple more. If you want to move over there.
Where?
Over there. You get me in the picture as well.
Smile.
The hot one just makes me sweat. It adds a little essence of salt to the dough. It is organic. Untouched by human hands. We've got two different sizes of tins there. Short, well, tall, short ones and long, shallow ones. Just so you can get a long thin loaf or a short fat loaf. Dough's of a lovely consistency. And if you keep filming until we've got a full tray, and then we can stick in the prover. A couple more loaves, fill that tray. It's quite important to get it off. Once it's on the table, to get it in the prover fairly quickly. Otherwise it starts to rise while it's on the table, and that gives too many air pockets in the bread. Now these are going in the long thin trace tins, so I'll have to work them out a bit. Yeah, there's one. As I mentioned a minute ago, these are going to the prover, which is just this steel cabinet over here, which has just got a gas burner in the bottom.
Open the door.
I'm opening the door for Mark. And you see all the steam coming out there. There's some bread in there that we've forgotten about, which is completely Let's say under there you've got a little gas burner with a pan full of water. But that just gives it a bit of steam, which gives the bread a bit of warmth to make the yeast work, or help the yeast work. It makes it rise a bit quicker. Just walking in front of the camera there. Right, this tray, as you can see, is now full. And we'll lift it up and stick it in the prover. And in we go. Now that'll take about 15 minutes before it goes in the oven. Now I think I better shove these in the oven because although they're ruined, they'll go somewhere. As you can see, these have been what's known as overproved. So you see those breads? Been overproved. So I don't know what's going to happen to them. Not a lot probably.
So they'll go in, as you can get down there and have a look inside the oven. Zoom in a bit, maybe, I don't know.
No,
it's fully zoomed in.
No, it's too dark.
Okay, let's load that up. Okay, that stuff's been in the oven for about 15 minutes now. And Mark's just going to bring them out. Usually two of us do this, but since one of us is holding the camera, it's a bit impractical.
Yeah, would you like to come down here and observe how well baked up they are?
Right, there you have... I think it's a date slice. So it's already marked before it goes in to make it easier with the cutting later. That's going to be cut into 66 pieces, and it's marked into 66 pieces, which is not a mere coincidence. Notice the careful use of oven gloves to prevent burning of the hands. At the moment we're only using the top deck, well we are using the bottom, you didn't see us load that. It's a 2-deck oven. Basically you've got a cast iron front there, with the cast iron doors. And inside there you have fire bricks, which you saw earlier is made into an arch, just like an oven should be really I suppose. Fairly shallow, or fairly low. And then the whole body of that oven is packed out with a mixture of fossil, flint and sand. And it's built up to roof level, and that's the insulation. The only insulation involved in it is the earth, in effect. They're going back in because they weren't quite ready. You should be pulling some loaves out there, which you put in earlier in a minute. You could possibly just see them at the back of the oven there, when he shines the light in. Here we go, here's a tray of bread. Notice how the bread's risen. What he's going to do now is check it in the old-fashioned way, which is to give it a tap, slide the bread out. Hear that? Like a drum. Perfect. So slip it back into its tin, put it back on the tray, and bring it out. Now what we're going to do is just put it somewhere. He's looking for somewhere to put it. He doesn't know quite where he's going to put it. And we'll put it on the floor probably, under one of the tables. And we'll leave it there for 5 minutes just to let the bread sweat a bit.
There we go, and until the dead.
And it'll sweat down there for about 5 minutes just so it's easy to get out the tins.